Hey everybody, welcome back. Hope you had a great summer. You're rested, relaxed, and ready for a great FY20. Miss Jones has asked that we do a recording of important messages, I guess, that we have for you guys. So I am going to cover just a few things: cash handling, purchases, fundraisers, and field trips. I will place a detailed list of these important reminders in your mailbox. Should you have any questions or want to discuss anything further, feel free to give me a call, stop by and see me. Cash handling is going to be pretty much the same as last year. Money will need to be collected from the students on a daily basis and deposited onto a cash collection sheet by student. I'm asking that you use blue or black ink only, and try and stay away from pencils if at all possible. Crayons and markers, I know, are always handy, but if we could do those cash collection sheets in blue or black ink, I would appreciate it. I just want to make sure that we continue to put ice cream money, field trip money, and any fundraiser money on separate cash collection sheets. That way the funds are deposited into the appropriate departments, and that we don't take a chance of placing money in error into the incorrect funds. Lunch money, ASP, yearbook money will not need to be placed on a cash collection sheet. Miss Wanda will collect that money in the hallway and get it to the appropriate contact person, so that those funds can then be receipted and accounted for by those coordinators or directors, and communicated with the parents of those being receipted. Picture money will be handled exactly the same again this year. Those funds will be given to Miss Casey in the front office, and she will hold those in safekeeping until our sales representative comes by and picks those up. Ice cream money, again, only on Mondays. We'll give some exception to that the first 2 or 3 weeks of school should you receive ice cream money from your students on random days of the week. Just go ahead and receipt that on a cash collection sheet and turn that in daily. And then probably towards the end of August, we will revert back to that Monday only, after we've given our parents a chance to get back in the groove of things, and our students as well. Just make sure that you, the teacher, are assisting the students to the ice cream cooler, so that we can make sure that the students who are actually paying for the ice creams are the ones that are getting one. Should your totals not match in your cash collection sheet and the money that's in your bank bag, again, we'll have to return those to you, and you can make your correction. There is no need to rewrite the entire cash collection sheet. Just correct the error, initial it, sign off on the top and the bottom totals, and go ahead and resubmit that to me. I am asking that you get those to me no later than 1 o'clock, so then I can account for the daily deposit and get that to the bank prior to going home. Miss Wanda, like I said, will come around between 8:30 and 9, collect any money, doctor's notes, or other correspondence that need office attention. County policy: if a parent were to issue a check, and in that check is money for lunch money, yearbook, ASP, all lumped together on one check, you will have to return that to the parent and ask them to issue multiple checks per fund, so that they can get to the appropriate department and receipted accordingly. Purchases are going to be handled exactly the same as they were last year. Not much to say there. Just want to highlight that I cannot have a purchase order that is dated after your receipt. So make sure that you are not purchasing anything that you expect to be reimbursed for unless you have submitted a requisition first. Requisition will be shared on Google Drive, as well as appropriate cash collection sheets. I will send your grade level field trip cash collection sheet, as well as a pre-populated concessions cash collection sheet for you to have those as you need. Fundraiser will kick off probably in August, towards the end of August this year. More details will be forthcoming for that school-wide fundraiser. But should you decide to do a grade level fundraiser or a club fundraiser, I do need to have those submitted to me at least 8 weeks in advance. And the reason for that is all fundraisers do have to be board approved, has to be in by the first date of the month before you want to kick off that fundraiser. So as a rule of thumb, you can get that in 8 weeks in advance, and we will make sure to hit those deadlines. Just make sure that any fundraiser that you are submitting, that you give me the details of the who, the what, the when, the where, and what you want those profits to be used for. Field trips, I believe most grade level leadership personnel have submitted field trip details to me. As of right now, I do believe that the cost for the buses will remain the $13 per hour per bus. Again, as a reminder, 60 students per bus in county, no more than 50 students per bus outside of the county. Transportation will be the responsibility of chaperones should they decide that they would like to attend. Again, chaperones can't ride the buses, and we will not be able to collect money for general admission field trips as it was in the past. If it's a field trip that a parent or chaperone physically needs a seat, then we can take up the funds for that. But any general admission tickets that would need to be purchased would need to be done so at the venue. I believe that pretty much is it for highlights and reminders. Looking forward to an awesome year with you guys. I appreciate your help in making sure that we as a school stay compliant, that we follow the county's policies and procedures that they've set forth for us. If at any time you have any questions, feel free to stop by, see me, send me an email. I do try to respond back to emails within an hour or two of the time of you sending those to me. So, shoot me an email while it's fresh on your mind, and I'll be sure to respond to you. Look forward to seeing you all soon, and take care.
Hey teachers, I've got a couple of things to tell you about new students or students that leave or first day attendance, but it's all going to be on a piece of paper so you can read it and hang on to it throughout the year. So it's in your mailbox. Welcome back.
Hey everybody, it's Parker. Hope you guys had a good summer, and welcome to our new Ithaca Peeps. I'm the PE teacher down here, so if you ever have any questions about safety, come to me. I'll answer them, or I'll find the answer for you. So I have a few things to go over with you today regarding safety. And so the first is the safety plan will be shared out with you if it hasn't already, and you need to look over it because you have to sign off this year that you read it. There'll be a sign off paper outside my office door here. It has to be done by the first day of school, so you might want to get on that pretty quick. Make sure you look for places where your name is, where if you have specific jobs, especially if you're not a homeroom teacher, you will have some things to do in the case of an emergency. Next on the list are red bags. Every classroom has one. Make sure it's visible so you can grab it quickly, or your sub or whoever else is in there. In this bag are lots of items. This handy dandy orange vest that you must wear, and all these other things. And I'll come around and check to make sure your bag has everything that it needs, and you'll have to sign off on that this year. So at the end of the year, if you're missing something, you'll be responsible for replacing it because the county office no longer replaces these items. So make sure you take good care of it. There will be a roster printed out for you. Sorry, I'm having to look at my nose. Carrie in the front will print out updated rosters for you to put in there to have with you in case of an emergency. Let's see, hold on, let me see what's next. Within your red bag, there are some cards. They're red, green, and yellow. These cards are used for communication when we have to leave the building. So in a fire drill or a fire emergency, anything, or severe weather, even in the hallways, we use these to communicate whether we have all of our kids or if we're missing somebody. So the green card is easy. That's it. If everybody on your roll, your roster that you're responsible for at that time is present and you can see them visually, then you have a green card. Okay, and if somebody that's absent, that's not counting. Everybody that's present that day and you have eyes on them, you have a green card. The red is if all your students that are present, they're not all accounted for. If somebody's missing, say you've sent them to the restroom, or you've even sent them to run an errand, you don't know if they are with that person. They could have been in transit. So that would be a red card. The controversy comes with the yellow. The yellow card is when one of your students, they're not in your presence, but you know who has them. Someone came and got them. The counselor came and physically, another adult came and got them. The counselor, whoever came and got this, your sped teachers, whoever, got this student out, okay? They're present. You can't see them, but you sent them with an adult. You saw them go. That's a yellow. Now that adult is responsible for that child. So if I'm the PE teacher, like I am the PE teacher, and I go and pull a child out of 5th grade to make up their fitnessgram, okay, that homeroom teacher would have a yellow. Now, if that student went to the restroom, I'm responsible for them. It's a red for me. Sorry. It's a red because I don't know exactly where they're at and I'm responsible for them. The safety team is going to kind of meet on this a little bit and try to make it a little easier. If all else fails, put up a red card if you're unsure. You know, we want to make sure our kids are accounted for and safe. So hopefully that helped. If not, come to me. We'll discuss it. Fire drill is when the fire alarm goes off and the light is coming out of the red boxes. That's what I tell my kids in the gym, because we have both the boxes in here. If it's coming out of the red box, it's fire. If it's coming out of the blue, that's an emergency. That's a lockdown. So if it's coming out of the red box and it's the fire alarm, you grab your kids, you grab your red bag, close the door, and you go out using the map that you will get, this the emergency procedure map. It'll tell you which door to go out and where to go. So make sure that you check that out. Usually we print those on red, but we'll be bringing those around pretty soon. Okay, and then when you get out there, as soon as you get out to your designated place, you call roll, and then you hold up one of these cards, okay? Because what we call the sweepers that go around and report in, they're going to be looking for these. So do this as quickly as possible. If it's a severe weather, get your kids, grab your bag, go out into the hallway. Same thing. Usually those maps are printed on blue, and it'll tell you where to go out in the hallway. Something we found that worked last year is practicing this with your team before we even have a drill, so everybody knows where to go. There are marks on the ceiling that your team leader knows where the start and stop place is. If not, come to me and we'll probably have a little more discussion on this later. But have a practice with your team, just going out there, even with your kids. It'll be a good thing to do the first few days of school, saying this is where we go and that sort of thing. So make sure you grab your bag, and after you call roll, display your cards. Lockdown, it's a siren. The doors lock down. You know, we have the shield system here. All the doors at the beginning of the halls lock down. If you have a place where there's a light, it's the one coming out of the blue light. All you should really have to do, if everything's done like it's supposed to be, is hide your kids. But if your door is open or your door's not locked, then you got to take the time to do that. The county rule is your door's closed and closed is locked at all times. It's aggravating sometimes, I know it is here in the gym, but closed is locked and doors are always closed. And we can give you some data on that if you'd like, on how it has saved lives in the past on school shootings. The classrooms where their doors were closed and locked, they went right by. So it's very important. So keep your doors closed and locked. So when a lockdown occurs, all you got to do is flip the lights and hide. And you stay hidden until the all clear comes over the intercom or whatever. You don't, if somebody knocks on the door, even if it's Miss Jones or Miss Brown, you don't go to the door. They have a key. So, you know, you never go to the door and let anyone in a lockdown. Always make a quick look outside your window, outside the door here. If you see a child running through the hall or out in the hall, grab them, okay? But also go over with your students about if they're in the restroom, what they do in a lockdown. They're supposed to hide, get their feet up off the floor, stand on the commode and hide. So those are topics you need to cover with your classroom, so they will know what to do. And I'm sure we'll go over more of this a little bit later too. Okay, so first aid kits are located in the front office, the nurse's office, and here in the gym. There's probably maybe some more than that, but that's all I know of. And then the AED, we have 2 AEDs here in the school. One is in the workroom behind the door, and the other is here in the gym. If you ever come in and just don't see it and need to know where it's at, because in car riders, you know, something could happen, I can show you where that's at. But there are 2 locations for those, workroom and the gym. This is really quick, but all you new teachers out there, you can come to me or ask your team leaders. We will continue to have like a safety moment in our faculty meeting to cover some things, but make sure you're up to par on the drills on what to do. And these cards, and if you're confused about this right here and you're not sure, like I said, if you're unsure about a student, it's always better to put up a red. But this is how we communicate, okay, in emergencies. So I will be coming around and checking your red bags and seeing what we got. You'll have to, like I said, have to sign off, and then make sure you look over the safety plan. Make sure you know the reunification spots, but that's not to be shared outside the school. That's not to be shared with parents or anyone. That's to stay in-house. So make sure you see that. Just look through it. And I think that's it. If I've missed something, come see me and we'll talk about it. But let's all be safe and have a great year.
Good afternoon. Miss Parker and I had safety and bus, but we decided to divide and conquer. So I'm going to talk with you, and my wonderful video assistants are helping me through our bus procedures at Ithaca. For those of you who are brand new to the school, I just kind of want to let you know how buses, the logistics of it. In the morning, bus riders will be dropped off along the sidewalk at the cafeteria windows. And in the afternoons, they park in this parking lot. There's an order. So they will park in the parking lot in the afternoon, and we'll all walk down. Car riders will go into the gym, and buses will go outside of that door. Bus routes, I shared these with Miss Jones, and she put them in an email to you. There is the bus route list, which is what this looks like, and also a route by location, by street, and the students that we currently have enrolled, their names are already on there. So if you don't need to really print that, but just make sure that this, if you were to print it or if you come across one, please don't leave that laying around. In addition, so in the mornings when students get off the bus the very first day, every bus is assigned a color, as you can see from your route. So when they get off in the mornings, we're going to take orange for example. The people who help me with buses every morning, we usually do this the first 3 days of school, we'll take a color-coded band and put it on their book bag or their binder. If they don't have anything, we'll just put it on their wrist for that day. And this is your sign as to how they came to school that morning. Most of them go home this way, but there are some students who come on the buses in the morning, but they go home a different way in the afternoon. So that is why it is so important during open house to make sure that they fill out that transportation sheet that Miss Casey gave you. If you can just have the parents do that. And I did it for Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. And then I just went ahead and did the whole next week just to make it simple. There is also a spot for permanent transportation. So I know the first few days it can be a little bit different for everyone or for a lot of students, but there is also an option for permanent transportation that they can put down. Please make sure that you have a list of all of your students and you know how they're going home in the afternoon, especially those first few days. It gets hectic, and the worst ever is when a parent calls and they can't find their child, and we just don't want that to be anybody's first day of school experience. In the mornings also, if maybe a parent didn't come to open house or they left a blank on the transportation sheet, it's okay. That first day of school, but around 8:45 to 9, will give you time to get settled. One of the first things you need to do is just make sure you know and have documented how everyone is going home. If there is a student that you do not know how they're going home, just write down their name and we will come by. We have people assigned to each hall, so we'll come by and troubleshoot any of those questions for you. We'll use the route provided from transportation to make sure that the address is not there and we just somehow missed it. If we can't figure it out or we're not sure how the parents want to go home, we'll write that name down, look up those numbers, and we'll start calling and get back with you as soon as possible. We will also deliver you tags once we know who those students are. And if you'll just put it on their book bag when we bring it back to you, that will be helpful. Let's see if there was anything else before I let you go. I think that is it. And also buses, there is the QR code in the hallways for parents to scan to figure out which route their child takes, but we will have 4 bus drivers here for open house. We will also this year, as a courtesy, and I think it was a great idea, we'll have 2 bus drivers here tomorrow or Friday for pre-K orientation. So hopefully that will help out. If you have any questions, especially new people, about procedures and how we handle buses, please don't hesitate to ask me. I'll be glad to help you. One more thing in the afternoons. When they exit out of the building, there is a specific place that each color bus has to be, but that bus should have a big piece of construction paper in their window, some type of color identifying which bus that is. So if you can just look for those colors and make sure that those students go to that bus. Thank you so much. You always do a great job with bus transportation. We appreciate it, and that's a very important part of the safety of our schools. So thank you so much. And if you have any questions, come see me.